You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities and special guests. Hosted by Demetrius Dini Reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Hello, all. Welcome to a pre-recorded version of today's episode. You're in the treat. This interview is going to be a blast, I tell you. And this is going to be an excellent talk, with the main man behind the business known as Overflow-cafe. Guys, people love and value and honor a person of integrity. Integrity will bring true peace of mind to one's life, along with the quality and richness of living. A life of integrity is a life that is full of accomplishment and meaning. In any situation, we have several choices. We can choose to do the easiest thing or choose to do what everybody else does. Or we can choose to do the right thing. Integrity means doing the right thing every time. Integrity is a passionate commitment to the truth and what we do, what we say, and our relationships with others. When we are true to ourselves, we cannot be false to anyone else. Integrity means acting to make the world a much better as you possibly can. It means discovering your own unique set of skills and abilities and using them to achieve maximum benefit for those around you. It means finding what you do best and doing it with all the commitment and energy you can muster. There is no better path to success and accomplishment than this. Take that from me, dini-mussolini. That is my word, and word is bond.
You're live in the mix. Let's get this started.
Yo, hello and welcome to another awesome episode of Inside the Music or Inside the Book. Inside the Business, where we dive into the minds of the people who create marvelous things. It feels so good to be back with you guys once again. So one time for my people who are indigos, crystalline or starseeds, or for my Vigilantes audience family. And 2 times for my people who are vegetarian or vegans. If you're like me, we are averaging over 37,000 live listeners, and we've been at this for 4 solid years. I appreciate all you guys who've been rocking with the kid on this journey, and we are still evolving, baby. It is all because of you, most definitely. We are the people who have dedicated their lives to music, spirituality, business, literature, art, movies, and research in every aspect, and we want to allow you an opportunity to tell your story. Man, we've had celebrities on our show, from Grammy Award winning artists to nominees to actors, comedians, CEOs, technology geniuses, visual artists, from authors to professors and aliens, or people who think they're aliens. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. Come on our show and talk to me. So check it out. To book an interview or just to share a real cool story, email me at vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com, and that's V as in Victor. I'm passionate about what I do, just as passionate about what you do, and together, yes, together, we can get your voice heard by the people who should hear it. So let's create something incredible. You know the number to dial, 701-801-9813. text that number to your buddy right now and tell them to tune in to connect with us or our guests, or you can hop in the mix directly from our website, onlyonemediagroup.com. Right from the homepage, you can slap that go live button and you'll be right here live in the mix and in the chat room with all of us. Feel free to shoot over some questions to ask our guests while they are here, but only as time permits. Sometimes my guests and I talk entirely too much and we take up the entire hour. And as always, all episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from either Spreaker.com/Only One Media Group, iTunes, YouTube, or any app from the Google Play or iTunes Store, or over at our website. And that goes for every single episode that we've ever aired.
How would you love to take your business to the next level? Well, now you can. Just visit classytechnology.com. Let us simplify technology for your business. Our services include website and business mobile app development, local SEO, business technology coaching, digital marketing, even online training courses. That's classytechnology.com. Why wait? Book your free technology consultation today by calling 734-215-7675. Put the passion back into your business and let the team at Classy Technology handle everything for you. That's classytechnology.com, the technology stylists.
Well, this afternoon's interview is the Overflow Cafe interview, and I'm your host, Dini-Mussolini, or just Dini for short, whichever you want to call me. So, like I said earlier, this is going to be an excellent talk with the main man behind the business known as Overflow Cafe. So come on, have a sit down, turn off your distractions, and learn about how this business was put together from the perspective of our special guest, the CEO, the founder, the Superman, Jeff Hall. Today, we'll have the complete honor and privilege today to discuss this business in detail with Jeff and learn about what has to happen behind the scenes to bring this business to life and to breathe life and optimization into your websites. So with that, let's go ahead and bring them on. Hi, Jeff. How's it going?
Hey, thank you so much, Dini. Thank you for having me on the show. How are you doing? I'm doing great.
I'm doing great as well. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. So you're from Canada, right?
Yeah, I'm in Toronto right now.
In Toronto. That's great, man. I wonder, is the weather there just as crazy as it is here in the States?
It is.
Oh, man. It's like we're having bipolar weather lately.
Yeah. We had snow a couple days ago, and it went from being really warm to freezing, and now it's back to... It's not too bad right now. It's nice and cool. But it's really weird. It's this weather pattern. I call it global warming cooling, because you never really know. You don't know what it is. It's both. It's both happening at the same time. So I don't know whether to have my air conditioning on or my heating on or what. What state are you in, by the way?
We're broadcast out of California, but right now I'm in Mississippi.
Okay.
In my home state.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Huh. Yeah. Awesome. So what do you want to talk about today, my friend?
Oh, man, we're going to dive deep into your business. So let's start at the very start in your company's history.
Yeah. Yeah, back in 1995 when I was a teenager, I was poor. My family, I was being raised by a single mom and a grandmother, and basically we were really financially poor, and I've been working for a very long time. I've been working since I was 7 years old in Canada. Wow. And I don't remember the exact story anymore, but we were like several months behind in rent. It was something like that. It was something major, and the money that I was bringing in just from my employment, it wasn't going to cut it. That was just taking care of the current bills. And so I needed to really do something big, and I was so frustrated living like that for so long. And so I just started doing whatever I could do for money. And one of the things that was happening to me at that stage in life, I didn't even have a computer, but in the school that I was in, I used to make jokes about computers, and I guess a teacher overheard me and thought that I could fix computers. And so he would always say, hey, could you fix, there's a computer in the office that's broken, can you fix it? And I did it because it got me out of class. And it was funny because I didn't know anything about computers, but I had to learn in order to keep fixing these computers. And I was lucky the first time I fixed a computer. I just did a bunch of stuff until it got fixed. And then I learned how to do it. And then I was able to afford to buy a used computer. Back in 95, this was like an old 486 computer with 8 megabytes of RAM, a 50 megabyte hard drive. It was such a, that's like worse than a flip phone. And I learned to do it. I took it apart, put it back together, and the school just had me fixing. Their computers were broken all the time, and they were paying people thousands of dollars to fix their machines. And I was like, look, every time it's broken, you give me like $15, and I'll just fix it. And they couldn't beat. That was a deal they couldn't beat. And so they were letting me out of class. And I was just fixing computers all the time, upgrading their computers, eventually setting up brand new computers for the school. And I was making so much money doing that. I'm like, well, can I make more money? Can I expand on this? And so I started helping people. Well, there was this guy. He was my kung fu instructor. And I was one of the things I treated myself to with my income was, aside from paying bills, I took kung fu lessons. And so my kung fu instructor in Mississauga, he's like, hey, I have a website. Can you get people to visit my website, because I can't afford to put ads in the paper and ads in the yellow pages and all this other stuff. I said, well, okay, well, why don't you pay me money for that, and I'll just drive as many people to your website as possible. So I hit the message boards, and the internet was nothing back then. It was nothing. I mean, there were a couple friendly people on the internet, and it was amazing, actually. His school ended up expanding. It ended up growing because I sent so many new customers to him. And I said, this is it. This is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to make websites popular. And I ended up doing that. I've worked for over 40,000 companies. Some are extremely small. Some are now extremely big. Some have gone public. And basically, Overflow-Cafe, we make websites popular. It's the one and only thing we do. So if you have a business that sells a product or a service, you would come to us, and whatever state your website is in, we would then take you to your ultimate goal, which is to be number one in search engines, meaning that someone goes to Google or Yahoo or Bing or any other search engine, and they type something. They type barbershop in Mississippi or some city in California or whatever, and your website is the website that pops up, or whatever it is you do. And not only does it show up first, but it shows up more often. So you're the brand that people remember, and you end up hopefully making more sales. Now, it doesn't work for all of our clients. We have a success rate about 94%. Our failure rate is about 6%. So if you just have like a blog or something like that, like a parenting blog or something, this isn't the right service for you. You're not going to like it. But if you actually sell something to a local area, like a couple cities or a state, you will absolutely benefit from this service, because we'll just bump you up. You sign up and you just go run your business as normal, and you let us take that stress off of you, and we bump your website up in search rankings month by month until you're number one. And then you just enjoy your business and enjoy the flood of customers that are coming in. And I grew this little by little by little, just from my bedroom, and then moved to. I needed the whole basement, and then I ended up getting a little office in Etobicoke, and then we moved to Toronto. And that's basically it. That's the history of Overflow Cafe.
Man, that is super impressive. And congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
I mean, at that age, being able to just, figure things out, as I call it, backwards mechanics, just figuring out how things work, and then, coming up with your own method to, launching your true purpose, which is Overflow-Cafe.
Yeah.
Man, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, can you describe your business process with a new client? Like, how does it all work?
Yeah. So, when somebody starts with us, the first thing we ask is just read through our website, because there's stuff that we do, and then there's stuff that we don't do. And so, for example, we won't write content for your website. We actually want you, the business owner, to write content for your website. So we'll want you to write an About Us page. But what a lot of businesses do, you won't believe this, a lot of businesses will go and pay $20 to some person overseas to write that for them. And they'll end up with something that's just nonsensical, and it doesn't help. It actually hurts them in the long run. And so we want you, the business owner, to be passionate about your business and to write the content on your website. So we don't do that. But we do everything else. So let's say you hit sign up. It takes like less than 5 minutes. We're just going to ask for some basic information about your website, what it is that you sell, or what service you provide, and some, basic contact information so we can keep in contact with you. From there, you could just walk away. We will scan through your website. We scan through both the code on the back end and the front end. And if there are any errors, if there are any problems, we'll just compile them into an email, and we'll send you an email within a couple of hours after you've signed up. Otherwise, we'll email you anyways, just to let you know that your account is set up, and here's what to expect. Now, we'll tell you what the plan is, and it's slightly different for each person. Obviously a barbershop there's going to be a different strategy compared to if you're a car salesman or something like that. There's going to be a little bit of a different strategy. So we'll tell you what the strategy is. And then for the first month, we are basically focused on making sure that you have all the right keywords on your website. So we'll tell you, these are the keywords that you need to have, and make sure that they're on these pages. We'll say, okay, you don't have a contact page. Could you add that in today? So we'll email you probably 10 to 20 times within the first month. Just, you don't have to email us back, but at least read our emails, because we're going to say, okay, you're missing this, you're missing that, you forgot to put your phone number on your contact us page, and so on and so forth. Now, while we're doing that, we're making sure that all of your pages are in search engines. So it doesn't matter if you're on, you sign up and you're on page 1200 on Google. The main thing is we want to make sure that you're there. If you're not, we'll make sure that you get in there right away within like 2 days. And then from there, at least once you're somewhere, we can start bumping you up. And then we'll go ahead, we'll match you up with tons of places that you need to be listed in. And so these are places that are related to your business. And so typically this is everywhere that your competitor is also listed. And so we'll get you listed there. Usually on a monthly basis, we'll submit you into about 100 places. This will result in a lot more website traffic, and it'll result in backlinks that are pointing to your website. So you're going to have a phenomenally healthy website, and you're going to have a lot more, a lot more links, a lot more people pointing directly to you. And basically, we just report to you on a weekly basis. We say, here's exactly what's going on. We've gotten you listed in X number of places. We've helped to fix this many errors. We've done this and this and this. And we just give you a very simple line-by-line list that you can verify. We also show you, here are your keywords. And your keywords, here's the keywords that have gone up. Here's the keywords that have gone down. Here are the keywords that haven't moved at all. Here's what you need to do to outrank these competitors. We'll show you who your competitors are, how many your competitors you have, how you score in Google, how they're scoring in Google, tons, and it's like 200 different things actually. And so we basically just progressively bump you up in search engines month by month until you're number one. Once you get to number one, we switch our focus to maintenance, where we just want to make sure that you keep all of those gains. But you're going to be listed in search engines and local business directories and citation sites. You'll have social profiles everywhere, anywhere from 10 to 1,000 backlinks after the first year. You're going to have not just rankings for your website, but all of your other assets. So if you have a local listing and maps, if you have images and stuff like that, you'll be ranked properly in all of those Google assets. So it's a real tremendous thing that you get for $29 a month.
Nice, and that's a pretty good price point as well.
It is, yeah. It's very competitive. If you go and you look around and you see what people charge, it's anywhere from a very little bit all the way to thousands of dollars a month. And so the people who are charging hundreds or thousands, the only difference between them and us is they will actually build your website for you. They'll write your pages, they'll write blog articles for you, they'll write your biography and your About Us page and so on. The problem is that's not good. It might save you a little bit of time, but Google can see when somebody is writing, they know their algorithm can see duplicate content. And so what a lot of these people do is they're just copying and pasting content and modifying a couple words here and there, and it's really bad for your rankings long term. And so we have a lot of people who come to us and they say, oh, I paid this person thousands of dollars and my ranking shot up really fast, and then now it's all the way down to nothing. Google has banned me, or they blocked me. What do I do? And then it takes us 6 months to get them back into Google, to remove the penalties, and then it takes a year on top of that to get them back to number one. So it's always good to write your own content and not have a stranger writing content for you.
Oh, wow, definitely. So what would you suggest to a client who has a website made on Flash? Like, how would you do SEO for that site?
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a real tough one. I haven't seen that in a while. We have a lot of clients, and so we've got clients who, some of them only have text. It's like they sent you a Word document. It's just one page, it's a letter, and that's it. Or I say one page, but it's like one HTML page that's like 5,000 words long, and it's all text in tiny font. I haven't seen a Flash site in a long time, but when it's a Flash site, we struggle with that because SEO for Flash is so difficult. We have to rely on the code. And so if our client can't do the coding, we would then have to recommend somebody who is able to go in there and then do some code on the back end to make sure that everything is properly picked up by search engines. Even then, we ask clients to swap out from Flash to something different.
Are most willing to do that?
Yeah, most are willing to do that when we tell them, look at your competitors, right? I mean, ultimately, if there were no competitors, if you had no competitors, well, you could be number one very easy. But you have competitors. You have people who are struggling to rank for the same keywords. They want your customers. They're modifying their pricing. They're modifying their service. And, of course, they're improving their website. And if you're not willing to improve your website, what you're saying is you're giving up and you're going to let your competitor win.
Yeah. Okay. So which is the most important area to include in your keywords?
Having keywords in the actual content, and not just listing them. I had a client who signed up a couple days ago who said, I want to rank for these 3 keywords, or it was like 3 phrases. And I said, okay, let me take a look. And I took a look, and all he did was just typed out the 3 phrases, separated them with commas, and just copied and pasted them over and over and over and over again, thinking that, Google was going to be fooled into ranking him. And that does work in some cases, but it leads to you being penalized overall. So I said, okay, look, it's super easy. All you're going to have to do, remove that junk and just go ahead and type up 1 page of really unique, interesting information about this topic, and you're going to mention these keywords within, it's going to be about these keywords, and just watch what happens. And he did that, and within 3 months, his ranking skyrocketed to, I had this conversation with him a couple days ago, but this guy's been a client for a while. Within 3 months after, which is like a couple days ago now, what day is it? Friday, so this would have been Tuesday or Wednesday, I don't remember. I'm like, okay, take a look. He is almost number 1 for all 3 phrases. He's like page 1, page 2, hovering. It depends on how you Google it. And so he's doing great. And I'm like, do you see what happened? Do you see the difference between 3 months ago when we talked and now when we talked? And so now he's he's got other pages on the site where he still has copied and pasted keywords over and over again, and now he's hopefully going to remove them. I'll try to follow up with him next week or the week after, and hopefully I'll see something good on his site. But put your keywords, if you want to rank for something, make sure it's in the title. Make sure it's in a good-sized font. Make sure that people can easily see it. They can easily read what you have. Don't use light gray text on white background. Use black text on a white background. Don't do anything silly. Don't try to trick Google because they're not dumb. They invest billions of dollars into figuring out how do we rank one website over another website. So keep it very honest. I find that the websites that are ranking long-term especially are the honest websites as opposed to the ones that are trying to manipulate Google.
Wow. So let's say, for instance, that a customer can give you an access to only one tool. Which one would you choose, Webmasters or Analytics?
Probably Analytics. Analytics just, I don't know, maybe I'm old school. Analytics just tells you so much, and especially now, I don't know if you've seen the recent updates, you could see so much demographics information. You could see there's just so much more that you can plug into, and we look at that stuff. If you're our client, we look at that stuff for you, so that if you don't want to, if you're not technical, or if you don't want to figure out what all of that stuff means, we will do it for you, and we present it to you on your Overflow-Cafe dashboard in an extremely easy to digest format. So you're seeing where you stand and where you used to stand, and what changes are happening, and what's good and what's bad, and so on and so forth. And for the people who are more advanced, they'll go ahead and they'll log into all that other stuff. And typically advanced users, they'll outgrow us very, very quickly. Our service is mainly for beginners.
Okay. Awesome. And if there is a site that's targeted at a particular country only, what is recommendable to do in order to rank well in just that one country?
Yeah, so just make sure that you have, you want to make sure that you have a domain prefix for that country. So if you're, United Kingdom, you want the .co.uk. If you're Canadian, you want the .ca. You want to make sure that you have that prefix. It doesn't have to be .com. It could be dot whatever, and there's hundreds of prefixes. So you get the country prefix that's right for you. That's number one. The next thing is you want to make sure that you have the country name on your site. You would be shocked. We have people who sign up with us and they say, help, I only want to service, Texas in the, the United States, but I'm getting so many visitors from India. And we'll check the website and it's like, oh, you sell custom spices. Okay, and you haven't mentioned anywhere on your website Texas or the United States. How is Google supposed to know where you are? They're just looking at your content. And if you're selling different kinds of curries, of course you're going to probably rank better in India than you're going to rank in Texas. And so just add Texas, add the United States, and you're going to, or whatever country it is you serve, and you'll notice that most of your traffic will be from there. Now, you're not going to be able to eliminate traffic from other countries, and you shouldn't. If you have lots of people from another country who want to buy from you, by all means, sell to them. The only way that I know of to really block people from other countries is to actually set up your site to block IPs from other countries, and don't do that, by the way. It really sucks. I'm in Canada, and us Canadians, we're frustrated because there's a lot of American content that we're not able to see. So when there are videos and stuff like that are blocked, and we'll go and we'll see a great headline, we'll click on it, and then it'll say, sorry, this video is only available in the United States. And it really it really sucks for us. I hate it. Netflix Canada has like half the shows that Netflix America has. And we're so frustrated because we'll see commercials on the internet and say, oh, watch this amazing show on Netflix. And we're like, yeah. go home after work, get on Netflix. And it's like, oh, this show's not available. It's like, what? So if you got customers all around the world, sell to them, make money, charge them more if you need to charge them more, but don't say no to paying customers.
Yeah, and I've run across that as well. Some videos on YouTube not being available in the U.S., but available in Europe.
Yeah.
And I understand why. There's you can block certain regions, I guess.
Yeah, but it's like the internet. It's the internet. It's supposed to be. It should be for the people, by the people, and look at what's happening to it.
Definitely. Yep. And another thing that I've run into, and this brings me to my next question, it's like clusters of small websites. And I say clusters because they're all related to each other. Yeah. But there's different content. So from an SEO point of view, which is better, like one big site when you just click the tabs and there's pages, or these smaller sites that, are there that could be on one big site? But I don't know what's the deal is by having a cluster of websites when it could just all be on one website.
Yeah,
what's your point of view on that?
Man, I've heard so many debates about this. My personal opinion is one website that you focus all your attention on. That's my personal opinion. As opposed to having multiple websites that are all about the same thing or similar things. It's just better, in my opinion, to focus on one thing. If you want a long-term business, that's the best way. If you just want to shoot up in the rankings real fast and then you die out, do multiple sites. But if you want to last a long time, look at the websites that we go to. Google, right? Okay, they've got Google, and it's like, it's not like they have google.com and google.ca, google.everything, right? But it's Google, right? You've got Amazon. I go to Amazon all the time to buy stuff now. But Amazon has Amazon. If they ever set up a completely different business, they'll have a website for that business, but for buying stuff, it's just Amazon.
Right.
Apple, you want information about the iPhone, the iPad, anything like that, you go to Apple. So I like the idea of having a brand, one brand that you're making popular, one website, and maybe there's a time where your company grows so big that you need to split it off into two, but you'll get there when you get there. Start off, save your money, save your time, have one site, focus on that one site. And by the way, why would you want to have multiple websites? Why would you want to create a website that competes against your own website? Google figures it out eventually. They figure it out. They see when content is very similar. They have an algorithm that they invest billions of dollars into, and it's trying to figure out who's trying to trick them. And so when people do those kinds of tricks, they shoot up in the rankings real fast, and they make a little bit of money, and then 6 months later, it's gone, and they have to do the next gimmick.
Yeah, I can imagine. And then plus, the IP addresses are long per our URL.
It is, and people try to skirt that. They'll use different IPs. They'll use different templates. They'll do things along those lines. But Google knows, and Google knows what websites are being accessed by who, and they know the data flow. They know where these people are coming from, what they're typing in, what website they're landing on, what they're being forwarded to. And it just doesn't make any long-term sense. Think about brick and mortar business. You would start with one shop, and you want to make that really, really, really amazing. And if you're going to set up another shop, it's only after the first one becomes really amazing. You don't start with 20 shops and then say, well, hopefully one of them works. Just start with one, make it amazing. Maybe you sign up with Overflow-Cafe, if you don't mind me pitching myself, and we give it our best shot and make you popular.
That sounds great. So with that was great, matter of fact. Do you feel that the internet represents the best possible way for a business to break through in today's world?
I do. I mean, you can network. It's unlike anything else I've ever seen. I mean, back in the 90s, you wanted to network with business people, and the barrier to entry was based on a lot of things, and one of those things was geography. In order to meet somebody, you'd have to travel, go fly to another city or drive for a couple of hours. I remember when I used to do attend these breakfast business meetings, and it was like 6:30 in the morning to go meet someone downtown Toronto, and we're all wearing, suits so that we could eat a cold breakfast and then talk about business for 4 hours on a Saturday morning. And I'm like, this sucks. I hate this. I don't like doing this. I'm not a morning person, first of all, and I hate paying money for terrible food. And I don't like wearing. I'm one of those people. I don't like wearing a suit to eat my food. I think that's ridiculous. And so no business would end up being conducted anyways, whereas now you get yourself an Instagram, you start following a bunch of influencers, you start following the people that you want to work with, you interact with them little by little, a couple minutes each day, and then eventually you build a relationship with them, you pitch your product or your service, and you end up doing 10 times more business, and it's 10 times less expensive, and less time consuming. And and then you get feedback, and you modify your website, and you modify your pricing, and everything like that, and you're living your life, and you're succeeding, versus the other way where you're just struggling, and you're only able to network with the couple people who are in your close proximity. So I really love the internet for that. Like, you can move forward so much faster thanks to social media.
Yeah. Guys, this is a lot of great information here. I can't wait till you actually check out this interview. But let's talk about South America.
Yeah.
Like, what first inspired you to pursue business ventures? Besides the way you grew up. Like,
yeah.
What inspired you to keep going?
To keep going, I don't know. I mean, at first, like we talked about, it was the money, and then really it was about freedom. And I think that that's what it's about today. It's really just a matter of freedom. It's a matter of doing what I want to do versus working at a company. Now, some people are extremely happy working at their job, and they have their business is really their side hustle, and they need to have the stability of a day job, and they have peace having that stability and that stable paycheck. And I would say more power to you. And they have their side hustle, and their side hustle makes $500 a month or $1,000 a month, and they love it. And I say, you know what? You've got freedom. You've got exactly what you want. So for me, it's going after what I want, and it looks different for everybody. I know I have this aunt, and she lives in South America. She came to Canada, she lived here, and she's like, you know what, Canada is way too much for me. It's too expensive, it's too busy, it's too noisy. She went right back to our old village in Guyana, and she's just living there real happy. And, there's no money, there's no internet, there's no technology, there's no nothing, but she's just enjoying it. She's happy all the time. For her, that's freedom, And when she was here, though, she was like, oh, I don't like the idea of business. I need to just work. She loved getting an hourly wage. She loved it. It was like it was basically minimum wage, but she loved it. She was like, I go to work, I work for a set number of hours, they give me a certain amount of money for those hours, I go home, and that's it. I don't have a concern in the world. Now, for a business owner, what happens if your website goes down? Yeah. Overflow-cafe monitors your website. And I'm not saying this just to pitch, me. Go with any other company as well. But while you're sleeping, we monitor your website. If your website goes down, we automatically contact your web host. And we say, oh, this website's down. It's on your server. Can you do a reboot? Can you get it up and running? Before you wake up, your website is back up and running. And so you're not going to miss out on anything. And so there are a lot of concerns, though, with having a business. But for me, to answer your question, it's just about freedom.
Yeah. Have you always worked for yourself?
No. I mean, I've worked, when I was younger, I worked for other companies. I've done construction, I've newspaper delivery. I've worked for companies. I worked at a leather store. Selling leather goods and like leather jackets and cowboy boots and so on and so forth. So I've been working legitimately since I was 7. We were so poor I had to go to extreme measures. I would lie about my age to get jobs, or I would get jobs that were in construction that were sort of under the table, sort of jobs that nobody wanted because they were dangerous. We dealt with dangerous conditions, working conditions, dangerous chemicals, and stuff like that. And so, I worked for companies and got that, that paycheck every 2 weeks. And some people love it. Some people love it. And I would say you do what you love. Or better yet, start loving whatever it is you do. That'll make it even easier.
Definitely. And I think background, is very important, especially when it comes to what you do. I'm not saying that you worked every job in the world, but you have an understanding of how things work. And I think that is so important when you're helping other clients. Let me ask you this. So the name of the business, Overflow Cafe, it sparks my curiosity. So we're going to get you to explain that title to us, if you don't mind.
Oh,
and
man.
Maybe get the backstory on the origins.
You're not going to like the answer. It is such a stupid name. It is such a dumb name. I don't know why. Like, it's one of those things that I kick myself about. I can think of so many better names now. The thing is, when we were starting, first it was like just a thing I was doing when I was 15. And it wasn't registered. It was just me doing business and getting money. But then people wanted to pay us with checks, especially like the schools and so on. They don't have huge amounts of cash on hand, and they had to like pay you with a check. And then people wanted to do like debit card payments and credit card payments. And so I had to register a company name. And I'm like, I don't want to spend time on this. And I'm not good at it. I don't know how. Like, sometimes clients they'll email us or they'll call us and they'll say, oh, help me pick a name for my new company. And I'm like, I'm going to have to forward this to someone else on staff, because I am terrible. I am the worst at picking names. I picked Overflow Cafe. I spent probably 5 minutes picking it, and I've regretted it ever since. It's such a silly name. Even to this day, I go to the bank to do any kind of paperwork and so on, and they're like, hey, Jeff, how's the cafe? And I'm like, no, it's not an actual cafe. They're like, what kind of coffee do you sell? I'm like, oh my gosh. We get emails from coffee distributors asking us if we could carry their line of coffee in our cafe. It's just so terrible. So doing it over, I would spend more time selecting a proper name.
Yeah, why not rebrand?
I don't know. I'm just it's one of those things where I don't care enough about it to do a rebrand. I do think about it sometimes. But I don't know. My main concern is, we do our best for all our clients. We can't make everybody happy, but we do put an effort in to make everybody happy. And so we'll do our best work for everybody, and some people like us and some people don't. We try to focus on the people who like us, and that's it. If I ever get to this place where the people who like us, they're like, hey, Jeff, this name, it sucks. Could you please change the name? I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit down with the team. We'll do a survey. We'll pick a couple good names and we'll vote on it, and we'll just switch it out. But, our customers, they're more concerned about, other pressing issues. And so we're just trying to focus on that and making things as great as we can for them.
Most definitely. And there are like so many new businesses being launched every day. I call it a trend of, being financial free, or be your own boss, or, why would you go work not 8 hours for someone else, or your dreams are sitting in a corner where you can be spending 8 hours in your dream, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so, you're right.
So I couldn't imagine about how many websites are being launched per day. And in your field, what is the number one problem brand new websites encounter after it's been launched?
Well, that's a good one. I'm just going to say the sites that I see, the number one problem is they're too light on content, on quality content. So there's two scenarios. The first scenario is you go to a site and it doesn't answer the basic questions, which are who, what, where, when, and why. It doesn't say where you are. It doesn't really say, what you offer, why anyone should buy from you. Some sites don't even have the company name. You don't even know what their name. There's no logo. It's like, who are these people? Where are they? How can I contact them? Why does this website even exist? The other problem is sort of on the other end of the spectrum. You hit a website and they've just gone to their competitor and they've just literally copied and pasted whatever their competitor has on their site, but they've maybe copied and pasted from 10 different competitors. And, it's like you have to read for 20 minutes before you can find their phone number, or you have to read through 1,000 words before you figure out exactly what it is that they do. So the moment someone lands on your website, they should know, what is your company name? What exactly what is it that you offer? What product do you sell, or what service do you offer? And then how much does it cost? You have to be able to provide that information within a matter of seconds, because people are very shallow. They're going to they'll click on your website, and if they don't get that information immediately, they're going to go and click off and click on somebody else's website. A lot of times people will Google and they'll click on the top 3 matches, and whichever one is better, whichever one is the most clear, that's the one they'll go with. Even if it's the most expensive option, they'll go with it if they understand it. So make it understandable. And we have people who sell crazy. We've got a client who's been with us for years. He sells feathers, just feathers, and like individual feathers. And they're pretty expensive. And it's just a very simple website. You land on it, and it's like, what kind of feather do you want? You want a turkey feather? Do you want this kind of feather, that kind of feather? How many feathers do you want? What colors? And then, you pay, and he ships them to you. And he's making a fortune. And it's such a simple website. And he's like, you know what? I like feathers, and I know that there must be other people in the world who like feathers, who want to buy my feathers. And that's it. And he said, he's making a ton of money.
Oh, wow. Okay, so what about older websites? I'm sure some of them still face SEO problems, which stands for search engine optimization. But I could imagine they suffer from the lack of knowledge of it. They think, I don't know, some sayings like, if it isn't broken, why fix it or why change it? Yeah. But the way that the internet world has changed so much, like commerce, trading is virtually there, because you can deal with anybody from any country, any place at any time of the day. So what is one of the main reasons older websites should call upon your service?
Yeah, so if you have an older website, you really should call sign up with Overflow Cafe, or at least consider us, because either you want to maintain what you have, if you have good rankings. If you don't have good rankings, then it's a no-brainer, because we'll give you top rankings. So we do have sites that are old. They've been around, people, they're like, I've been in business for 20 plus years, and I've taken this as far as I can go. And we'll say, okay, well, give us $29 a month, and we'll take it as far as we can go. For some of them, it works out really, really well, and for others, it doesn't work out. And then other companies, they come to us, they say, look, we've been around for 20 years, we're number one for every keyword, what can you do? And we'll say, well, would you like for us to just maintain those rankings, and instead of you grinding all day and night to maintain this, let us maintain it. $29, and they'll sign up, and we'll just maintain what they've got. Think about it this way. You build a company, and it takes so many hours of work, and eventually you'll want to go on vacation, right? Well, in order to go on vacation, you're going to have to hand over responsibilities to other people so that they can do the work while you go and relax for a little bit. So you would want to hire us. We're one of those people who will take care of things while you go and relax.
I like that. I like that a lot. So you sound like you're one of the experts in the field, Mr. Hall. And I definitely recommend that websites that are struggling with search engine optimization should contact you for your services.
Thank you.
All right. So this is our traditional soapbox, and you're welcome, by the way. I can't thank you enough for putting up with all my rambling and for your time. I truly appreciate it, and completely look forward to hearing the feedback from our devoted listeners. And we're also wishing you the best success with your endeavors and continued success thereafter. So please take this time to mention anything else at all that you like to. It's our open floor, or what I call the soapbox, where you can just lead the way. No final questions for you, just an opportunity for you to express anything else that you'd like to say about yourself or your company, or just, I don't know, you could be into aliens and want to discuss that. It's all up to you.
Yeah. Well, I love Game of Thrones and Walking Dead, so hopefully some of your, you like that too? Are you all up to date on that?
Not on Game of Thrones, but The Walking Dead I am.
Okay, yeah, that is, this season is emotional. Oh my goodness, this is a rough season. They've had a rough couple of years, and I really hope that, I'm hearing these rumors that maybe the show is going to end next year. Is it true? Have you heard anything about that?
That's the rumor every year.
Yeah. I mean, eventually it's going to happen, though. Like, what is this, like 8 years now or something?
Yeah, yes.
Wow.
I didn't expect it to, last as long.
Yeah. I watched it at the premiere, and I really hope it lasts a long time. Like, originally they were saying, it could go for 20 seasons. And now it's like, yeah, but, if everybody's gone, it can't last that long.
Right. There's always that question. At some point, it's going to get old.
Yeah.
The zombies are a minor threat now.
Yeah.
It's really not even about the zombies. It's more about you coming against other camps who are just, it's either, the rule is either us or you.
Yeah. I wish they'd move. Like, I wish they'd go far away. They're still in that town in Georgia, right? And it's like, go far away. Go somewhere. Or correct me if I'm wrong. They could be somewhere else. But, I wish that they would travel. There's that other show, Fear the Walking Dead. Have you seen that? So with that one, they travel all over. Like, I watch every episode. They're traveling all over the country, and they have no issue. And I'm like, yeah, come on, Rick, get your people on a boat or something and get out of there. Come to Canada,
Right.
Yeah.
So, I think they're just stuck in that small area.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah, it's totally cool. We have a lot of listeners that love that show, and Game of Thrones as well.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. I'm really happy that they delayed the final season. Like, that they're not going to show it this year. They're going to show it next year. I'm not ready. I'm not emotionally ready to face the end. Because everyone's going to die. Those writers are sadistic people. Like, they want everyone to die, and they have no mercy at all. So I think that, I'm just getting myself ready. Next year, probably January, even though I've already watched every episode multiple times, I'll just start watching it all again from season 1 and just get ready for the ultimate finale. Oh, they're producing a spinoff. So it's not like it's going to be done for good. They haven't given details, but they said there's like 4 or 5 spin-off ideas on the table, and they're just going to choose the best 1 or 2, and they're going to go with that. So who knows what's going to happen? Somebody, maybe someone lives. I don't know.
Right. It's hard to fall in love with a character on that show because they eventually die.
Oh yeah. It's rough. It is so rough. Man. Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, Jeff, we have one more tradition. And this is optional because it's a pre-recorded show. So we usually cut to some music where we, catch our breaths. But when we come back, we have this segment called the hot seat. and that's where you can display some talent that you may have. Like, you may like to sing, or you may have some poetry, expression of speech. Maybe you can freestyle rap. You know, Canada's taken over in the music industry, so I don't know. You could be a part of that whole wave there.
Oh,
you could be a comedian, tell jokes, good stories, or you can play live instruments.
Oh,
so
my gosh.
that?
I am game, but the problem is I don't have any actual talent. I wanted to actually start taking guitar lessons. I have nothing. I'm so sorry to disappoint you, my friend. I have nothing. And believe me, I have tried. I've tried taking singing lessons. My friends are like, look, Jeff, quit. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm like, okay, man. Okay, it's cool. It's cool. I can't even do karaoke properly.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But you have a great speaking voice.
I don't know. It just doesn't work. It doesn't translate properly. That's the only thing.
All right. So I guess we won't do the hot seat. That's cool. Well, we definitely enjoyed you, Jeff, and I can't wait to get this interview out to the masses. One last thing. Make sure to give us all your websites and your links where you want people to come and check out the business.
Yeah, overflow-cafe.com. Just head over there, check it out. I'm Overflow Cafe on Instagram. Talk to me. And, just check us out. Hopefully we could do some business. And Overflow Cafe, we make websites popular.
Definitely. And, guys, just in case you're driving and didn't catch that, we have the link in the description of this show. So all you have to do is once you get to your stopping point, just check it out. Take a look around and see if it's what you need for your business. I guarantee it probably is if you're not getting those bright keywords for your website. I'm going to have to take a look at my website too, see if I'm doing the right thing. If not, I'll have to get Jeff to help me out.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, my man. Thank you for your time.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from either Spreaker.com/Only One Media Group, iTunes, YouTube, any app that's on a Google Play or iTunes store, or our website. And that goes from every single episode that we've ever aired. If you'd like to request music or a particular guest or send something for me to play, email it to vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. If it's music, please label it by artist and title. Here's my disclaimer. We are genre free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay but facts alone. And actually, you can scratch all of that because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it. Nah, just kidding. On behalf of myself, Dini-Mussolini, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word because sharing is caring. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, as well as Spreaker. We always follow back. That is the number one rule. Okay, well, just remember to be yourself and be absolutely great at just doing that. Avoid being too comfortable because you're messing with your potential when you do that. Peace and have a good night.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.
How would you love to take your business to the next level? Well, now you can. Just visit classytechnology.com. Let us simplify technology for your business. Our services include website and business mobile app development, local SEO, business technology coaching, digital marketing, even online training courses. That's classytechnology.com. Why wait? Book your free technology consultation today by calling 734-215-7675. Put the passion back into your business and let the team at Classy Technology handle everything for you. That's classytechnology.com, the technology stylists.